Today we will discuss how to operate an airboat. We will discuss inspecting an airboat, the safety equipment necessary, how to operate the airboat on the water, and how to safely dock an airboat. Now, one of the first and most important things to keep in mind with airboats is staying clear of the propeller and outside of the propeller arc. This area on an airboat is dangerous even when the airboat is not running. Now, before we get out in the water, there's a handful of things we need to do. First, we must inspect the boat cage for any cracks or damage, and we must make sure the propeller area is clear. Next, we will inspect the rudders for proper movement and secure attachment. Then, we will inspect the rudder cable for full movement. And finally, we will check the safety flag and the running lights. The running lights are very important to have at night so other vessels can see you. We will also check the engine to make sure there is enough oil and that nothing looks strange or out of place on the motor. We will continue on to check the hull and the stringers to make sure there is no cracks. And we also want to check the bottom of the boat to make sure there is no big gouges or anything that could cause any leaks. At this time, we also want to go ahead and move to the back of the boat and check and make sure that the boat plug is in and secure. We also want to take a few moments to make sure that we have the proper safety equipment. We want to make sure we have extra oil, tools, boat registration, a safety whistle, life jackets for everybody on board, hearing protection for everybody on board, and also some extra things that we might need in case we run into any problems, such as spare parts, tie wraps, and duct tape. Once the boat is in the water, before we start it, we want to check and make sure that the propeller area is still clear and that nobody is standing behind us. As we start the motor, the first thing we want to check is the oil pressure. There are many unique characteristics about airboats. The first characteristic about airboats, like every other boat, is there are no brakes, so everything has to be planned out well in advance. Another unique characteristic about airboats is that from the torque of the engine and the propeller, the right side of the boat wants to dip down when power is added. So that means all the sharp turns you do in an airboat must be to the right, because you could flip the boat very easily making a sharp turn to the left. Now, an airboat can ride on the land just as easily as it can ride on the water, so it is important to be very cautious until you get a good feel of what your boat can do and your skill level. Now that we've learned some of the basics, it's time to take the boat out for a ride.
Today we've kind of talked about the importance of airboat safety and airboat operation, and one of the next things what we'd like to discuss is being courteous to other boaters, not blowing them off their boat, keeping good distance when you're trying to pass them, but also keeping the wildlife safe and not endangering it or the environment, and not trying to scare away birds or animals just because you can blow them away in your prop wash. The Florida Wildlife Commission really works hard to ensure the safety of the environment, the boaters, the canoers, and everybody else, and that's sort of the next mission we want to accomplish here with our video.
When docking the airboat, it is very important to keep in mind that the motor is always pushing you, so you have to be very cautious so you don't run into the dock. So today we talked about inspecting the airboat, the proper safety equipment needed, how to safely operate the airboat, and how to properly dock the airboat. I hope you enjoyed watching our video and you learned a lot about operating an airboat.